of our biggest problem here, guys, is that you've got the pitchers here will dig out this hole, giant hole here. Leaving it here, we've had some rain overnight, which was helpful. Leaving it here creates a big concrete area where there's a giant hole in our mound. As you can see in the circle here, the dirt has piled up here and over on this side where it's been dug out from the pitchers. What we need to do is actually get this hole here, this big mound, back into this hole and tamp it down in. Go ahead, Brian. One of the things that's important is we're always going uphill. We don't ever want to pull dirt off of the mound. We always want dirt staying up on the mound. The back of the rake has a flat edge. That's great for pushing dirt around. The other part's great for kind of breaking the dirt up. So pulling some dirt up in here, getting it into that hole. All right. I always like to start with my foot, right? So I can level it out a little bit and create a nice flat area, right? Once you have that, you can start tamping it down. And hit that with the rake again. So now, as you can see, with just a minimal effort, not too long, we, instead of having a giant pile here and a hole over here, we've started creating a more even surface. Being mindful though, guys, also while you're doing that, what you want to be careful to not create, so we're pulling some of the dirt here because we did have a little bit of a hump here. You want to also be mindful of the fact that you're not creating a hole in front of the mound either. So always the objective is to have a nice teardrop mound, but also still have a nice flat surface all the way around. So now what we've done is we've created a perfect mound. This mound needs a little bit of work. With that being said, a perfect mound has a nice teardrop shape. What we've created is a good soft spot here, or a good flat spot here, and we filled in that landing spot. As kids are, their pitch comes here, they dig their heels in, and that's what creates that big hole. Making sure that we're refilling that will allow the mound to last a lot longer for seasons to come.
And not just refilling it, but tamping it down and possibly even using some water. Right. Because if we just fill it with dirt, it has a tendency, an overnight windstorm comes through, it's going to blow all that out.
It's a great note, and especially if you have access to water, watering can, your kids water from after the game. We have hoses at some of the fields. If you have a really dry day, you know, this is great for today, but a really dry day, once you fill these holes back in, putting some water on it will allow that dirt to stay and settle versus just blowing away overnight.
Brendan, who can help with this?
So, important to note for managers, this is something, especially in the majors, getting the kids involved, letting the kids help you rake. Other dads and moms who are in the stands, your assistant coaches, the objective is not to have every manager be responsible for everything, right? You're responsible for making sure that these things get done. It's not, the objective is not for the manager to have to do all of it themselves, him or herself, right? So just make sure that it's done. And the point is, this should have never been like this at this point in the season. The reason I say that is that means that the last game has been played and these holes were left. What we would find is when we came back in March to start our next season, those holes would still be there and they'd be worse, right? So it's important to kind of preserve the field throughout the season and for seasons to come.
So coaches, managers are doing this after games, after practices?
After games, after practices, absolutely. Anytime you start seeing wear and tear on the field, you've got to maintain it.